So the new Nexus 7, the 2013 edition, has been out for about a month now, and I really waited to give my review because I wanted to spend a lot of time with this and give you guys a full review of maybe why you should buy it, the good, the and the bad. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing we'll start off with is the form factor and the display. The form factor is 8.7 millimeters thick, which this device is very thin, 114 millimeters in width and 200 millimeters in height. It's made out of plastic, but the soft touch back feels really nice, and although it is somewhat of a fingerprint magnet, it's not that bad at all, and it's really not that big of a deal, but the soft touch of it it's really comforting. It really feels nice to hold, and it's definitely a one-handed device with the 7-inch form factor. Coming out weight, it's only 290 grams, and then this 7-inch display looks amazing. At 920 by 1200, it's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio with 323 pixels per inch, meaning this display looks extremely crisp. You can't really find any pixels in it. It plays videos well. It just looks amazing, and there's definitely no complaints about any of this. Now, to continue on with the good, let's talk about what's inside, which is a Snapdragon S4 Pro, 1.5 gigahertz quad core with 2 gigabytes of RAM. So anything you really want to do on this tablet can be performed with ease. It's pushing Android 4.3, which could be the biggest Android improvement I've seen. It has improved my Samsung Galaxy Nexus, and it makes this Nexus 7 just fly through any task, whether it's multitasking, switching between applications, running high frame rate games. Anything you want to do on this Nexus 7, it just buttery smooth, and it's really a joy to play with. I mean, there's no lagging, no skipping. It's awesome. It also has a beam or NFC on it, so if you're into the NFC kind of thing, I've personally never seen anybody in the world use NFC, but you actually have the option to beam, say, a picture you took in your Nexus 7 to your Samsung Galaxy Nexus or an NFC device. So that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's kind of useless. The battery life is a 3,950 milliamp hour battery, and it actually has been really well for me. In the past month, I've never complained about the battery, oh, it sucks. I can easily get a full day out of it doing just basic social networking, web browsing, and playing a few games. And if I was trying to kill it watching movies or something, it would probably last me about 10 hours. It really is just that nice. And the standby time on it lasts forever. If it's turned off, it's not going to go down. I could probably have it on for a week just in standby if you were to do that, and it'd only lose probably 15%. I haven't tested that, but I'm saying it's just that good. It's not going to lose it on standby. And the last good I have for you is its portability. This thing can fit in my pocket, easily slide into my bag, and it's really thin, and the best part is if I want to slide in my pocket, I could legitimately go for a jog without it falling out, which is amazing. In jeans, it depends on what kind of jeans you have, obviously, but if you have big enough pockets in the back that are wide enough, easily fits in there. It's something that just I think will separate this tablet a lot from, say, the iPad mini or its main competitors. And now on just to the eh. The eh are just pretty average things. The speaker on this thing is just eh. And the front-facing camera is just, it's nothing to brag about. Those two combined, it does make for a decent, Hangouts or Skype session if you're going to use both of them. They're not great, but it is decent, and it's just. And to finish off the bad, there's basically two things. One is actually the design. I think it looks kind of ugly with the two huge bezels on top and the screen is on. When it's turned off, it looks really nice. It looks like a big candy bar. But when you turn it back on, the huge bezels make it look just sort of bad. I guess it looks a little bit better when you're in landscape mode for holding it because you have those spaces where you're not touching the screen. But when it's on, it just doesn't look very appealing to me. And also with the design is trying to touch the lock and volume rockers when it's flat on its back. They have this edged curve, which I showed you earlier, but when it's flat on your back, it's literally almost impossible to turn on the lock button. You have to pick it up every time to turn it on. And that's just something I've noticed, and it's just really annoying, is if they're going to make it, they should have made it at least flat-edged on somewhere right there so I can just turn it on if it's on my back, because I always watch things and do things on the tablet when it's flat on its back, but now I got to pick it up every time to adjust the volume, pick it up every time to unlock it, and it's just annoying. So I know it's kind of nitpicky, so let's get down to why you should buy this device or why you shouldn't. So why you should buy this device? It's a 7-inch tablet, it's portable, great display, Android 4.3 is awesome, you can basically do anything on it, and it's priced at an amazing $229 for this 16 gigabyte Wi-Fi version. There's nothing that's going to compete with that price. The iPad mini, that I believe, is $300 or plus for the 16 gigabyte one, so it's $100 less, and it's right on par with actually beating it performance-wise and also screen-wise. And now, why you shouldn't buy it? Why you should not buy the new Nexus 7 2013? If you're a big iPhone guy, if you have an iPhone 5, if you're standing in line to buy the iPhone 5S, if you're a big iOS, you have a MacBook, you have iPads, you have all this stuff that's Apple orientated, you don't need a Nexus 7 because you're going to be so adjusted to how Apple runs everything that it's just not really going to fit with the things that you want to do with the new tablet. There's also another reason why you really want the Nexus 7 is that if you don't use a lot of Google services, Android takes advantage of the fact that it is Google ran with Gmail, Hangouts, all these Google applications run through Android really well. And on the iOS side, they just sort of run like another app. So if you're not a big Google user, or if you're a big iOS guy, these are a couple reasons why you wouldn't buy the Nexus 7. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this sort of review. Should you not buy the good, the bad, and the of the new Nexus 7. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, share it, and everybody have a great day. I'm out. The positive and negative, and then you have your power on life of this lasting all day, and how fast it is with